Hey 6th grade, this is lesson 9, day 4, and we are practicing problems that involve adding and subtracting decimals. So first, make sure your math book is on page 98. If it isn't, pause the video and go get it. And second, be ready to follow along. So first thing I'm going to do is go through the example, which I have the work whited out, so you don't have to watch in your book, just watch in the video. Alright, so here's what it says. Alex's family went on a hike at Mount Rainier National Park in Washington. The Silver Falls Trail is a total of 3.1 miles. All right. They hiked 1.534 miles and reached Silver Falls. So that's what they hiked. All right, so right now I'm thinking they gave us a total and they gave us the part that they hiked. How much farther do they have to hike to complete the trail? Now, I saw the key words, how much farther. Do you remember? How much farther always means to subtract. So, first, down below, I'm going to show you the subtraction problem you would do to solve. And let's get started. First, I'm going to estimate it. 3.1 miles is about 3 miles, and 1.534 is about 1.5 miles. So if I were to subtract 3 minus 1.5, I would get 1.5 miles. So my answer needs to be somewhat close to that. Now let me do the work here. So first, 3.1 minus 1.534. Don't forget to fill in the zeros there so you don't mess up your regrouping. Next, I'm going to do my subtraction. I'm going to borrow from the 1, make that a 10, borrow from it, make that a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6, 9 minus 3 is 6, 0 minus 5 I can't do, so let me do some more regrouping. 10 minus 5 is 5. Keep your decimals lined up, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So when it says how much farther, the answer would be 1 and 566 thousandths. What was the unit? Miles? Miles farther. And how do I know my answer is reasonable? Remember, it is very close to my estimate of 1.5, so I know my answer is reasonable. So in this problem, all I did was, when I read it, I figured out that it was subtraction. I figured out what I was supposed to subtract. I estimated first to see if my answer was reasonable, and then I solved. All right, now, here is what you are going to do. In a second, you're going to do number 19. Now, you're going to have to decide, is it addition, is it subtraction? Now, what I want you to do first is the first thing I want you to do is your estimate. And your estimate might be different from mine. Now, remember, your estimate should be two numbers that are either easy to add or either easy to subtract. And that way, when you solve your exact answer, you'll see if your answer was reasonable. So your estimate you could write there, and your exact answer, you can do that work there. So pause the video, do number 19. As soon as you're done, restart it. Go. All right, so let's see how you did. So number 19, it says, a cheetah can run 112 and 654 thousandths kilometers per hour. Why would they measure that out to the thousandths? I don't know. Okay, so that's how fast a cheetah can run. A pronghorn antelope can run 98.17 kilometers per hour, which isn't as fast as a cheetah, which is probably why cheetahs eat them. How much faster is the cheetah than the antelope? Now remember, those key words always mean to subtract, so this is a subtraction problem. Now the first thing I'm going to do is my estimate. So I'm going to round this. Now your estimate's probably a little different than mine, but that's okay. Remember, we're just getting close. 112.654 is about 113, and 98.17, I could say that's about 98, but it's easier to subtract if I say it's about 100. And so my estimate is going to be about 13. Now remember, your estimate is probably different. You could do 110 minus 100 and get about 10. You could do 113 minus 98 and get about 15. They're all okay. Now my exact answer, I'm going to subtract. So I have the bigger number on top, 112 and 654 thousandths, minus 98 and and 17 hundredths. Now, first thing I want you to do is check and see if you have your digits lined up. Did you fill in some zeros before you subtracted? Okay, now let's do the subtraction. 4 minus 0 is 4. 5 minus 7 I can't do, so let's do some regrouping. 15 minus 7 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. Line up my decimals. Are you still in it? Well, if not, you can always pause the video at any time. So 2 minus 8 I can't do, so borrow. 12 minus 8 is 4 though. 0 minus 9 I can't do, so borrow. 10 minus 9 is 1. So my answer is 14.484, how much faster? Kilometers per hour. So I'll do kph. And notice my answer is reasonable because it's relatively close to 13. All right. So now, if you messed up, don't just cross out your answer. Pause the video, look at where you messed up. You could always go back and rewind the video to watch. But now, it is time to go on to page 99. All right, next, here is your job. You are going to do number 20 on your own. Same thing, I want you to come up with an estimate first. Make sure it's quick and easy to add or subtract. And then I want you to solve with your exact answer. Okay? Pause the video. Do number 20. As soon as you're done, restart it. Go. All right, let's see how you did. This says, let me zoom in. Becky wanted to grow out her hair, and she measured the growth each month. The first month, her hair grew 1.775 centimeters. So that's month 1. Okay? The next month, it grew 1.45 centimeters. That's month 2. The third month, it grew 1.2 centimeters. How many centimeters did the hair grow in the 3 months? So if we want to figure out the total the hair grew in the 3 months, you would add those 3 amounts together. Now, in my estimate, I would say 1.775 is about 2. 1.45, you could say is about 1.5, but I'm going to say is about 1 because it rounds down. And 1.2 is also about 1. So my estimate is going to be about 4 centimeters. So if my answer isn't close to 4 centimeters, I know I did something wrong. Now, let's find my exact answer. So let me line up my decimals, 1.775, 1.45, and I'm going to fill in a 0 there, and 1.2. I'm going to fill in 2 zeros there. Add them up. 5, 12, write the 2, carry the 1. And then I have 7, 8, 12, 13, 14. Write the 4, carry the 1, and they add up to 4. So all together, the answer is 4 and 425 thousandths centimeters. And I know that's reasonable because it's very close to my estimate. All right. Remember, pause the video if you messed up. That way you can fix your mistakes and learn from it. Okay, 21. Now, here's what you're going to do. You are going to do 21. Yes, you're going to have to show your work. But I will tell you, it is possible if you estimate. If you estimate first, since it's multiple choice, you might be able to eliminate a few of the answers. All right? So try that. I want you to estimate first. See if you can eliminate 1 or 2 answers, and then find your exact answer and see where you're at. Then I do want you to answer the part if Evan chose A, how did he get that answer? So just kind of, give that your best shot. All right, pause the video, do 21, restart it when you're done. Go. All right, let's see how you did. So in 21, it says, on a field trip, a 6th grade class traveled 19.955 kilometers by train, 7 kilometers by bus, and 2.3 kilometers by car. How far did they travel all together? Well, all together is one of those keywords, which means add everything all up. So, first off, I'm going to estimate. If I round 19.955 kilometers, that rounds to about 20. 7 kilometers, well, I'm going to keep that 7 because it's a whole number. And 2.3 is about 2. If I add those up, I get 29. Now, because my estimate is so close, I am 99.9% sure that the answer is going to be C. So, I mean, honestly, I could get away with probably not doing the exact answer, but I won't do that to you guys. So let me see if I show my work. You're ready? So I'm going to do 19.955 plus 2.300 plus 7. Now watch where I line up my 7. It should be 7.000. Okay, did you line up your 7 correctly? A lot of people put the 7 in the wrong spot. If you did, pause the video and fix it. Okay, add those up. I get 5, 5, 12, carry the 1. So 1 and 9 is 10, 11, 12. 12 and 7 is 19. 2. And yes, the answer is C. Now, I have a hunch what Evan might have done, and this is because I've seen students do this. So you see how his answer is still 19,000. I'm guessing Evan didn't line up his decimals, so watch this here. This is my guess. Alright, I am guessing Evan added like this. So 19.955, 2.3, and 7. Let's see what you would get. So you'd get 15, 8, 9, 9, 1. Maybe put your decimal here, or maybe make it a whole number. And what do you know? You would get A. Which, what do you think? I think Evan didn't line up any decimals. Alright, so now for part A, Evan chose A. I'm going to write down my explanation here. Okay, so here's what I said. Remember, yours does not have to be this exact thing. So I said, I think Evan chose A because instead of lining up his decimals, he lined the numbers up as if they were all whole numbers. So kind of, you see how he just moved everything to the right like you would with a whole number? You'd line everything up and you get those digits. That's what I think he did. Alright, so remember, you may go back and pause this or rewatch any part that you need to. Make sure all your mistakes are corrected. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.